Hi, Jarlaxle here, and this is another video of my Warcry build, Corrupting Cry, and probably the last video of it in this form, as the upcoming patch is probably going to break several things on it that will render the build not not really playable unless I can figure out another way to do things. So we'll show this last video of my final version of it. Um, we'll run a T17 map. This doesn't really have any particularly hard mods. I'm Impale immune, so that doesn't do anything. Reflect immune. Barrels, I break them before I really get to them usually. The only annoying one is that one on the bottom. Deal no damage. That's just, annoying, not really difficult. And then I'm immune from petrify, so I'm running back to basics on this. I do take the less damage and more life keystone. Got all the scarab stuff, explicit modifiers, more scarabs, yeah, typical setup. So we got extra barrels, extra rare monsters. So some things I've added since the last build, or last video I made of this build, is Berserking, or Rage Vortex of Berserking, which when I get my war cries going, will sustain for quite a while. I have this linked with Maim, Pulverize, Life Gain on Hit, Fortify, and Culling Strike. Fortify doesn't usually work very well in these T17 maps, but it works in pretty much all the other content, so I do like it. But we'll show you how this goes. Basically, just run through the mobs, apply the corrupting blood debuffs, and they pop. The Rage Vortex is nice because it breaks the barrels, as well as, giving you Fortify occasionally and life gain on hit and everything. It also procs my flask, because I have it set to use on hit whenever I hit a rare mob or unique mob, which my war cries do not hit. They only apply a debuff. So I need the Rage Vortex of Berserking to actually hit things, so that I could automate that and just have one less button to hit. So this was one of my favorite builds I've worked on, just for how easy it is to play. It's very forgiving, very tanky, decent damage, really fun, and really annoying for other people when I go to trade with them, which is a little added bonus. But yeah, the upcoming patch is adding a 15% reservation, mana reservation cost onto the Call to Arms support, which they're changing the name to Auto Exertion. And then that 15% mana reservation would be multiplied by the mana cost multiplier on the Corrupting Cry support, which happens to be 1,000%. So that plus the other supports that we put on General's Cry end up bringing the mana reservation cost for my particular build around 233%. So that is not going to be a viable option going forward after the patch, unfortunately. But yeah, this handled tier 17s quite well. There were mods that can't run, and there are still mobs that can kill me, particularly those Revenant type mobs that do the corpse explode thing. But overall, it was a great build. to be a helicopter. It was a lot of fun. But the basis for this build, as far as the war cries with the cooldown, getting the damage buff from the crucible swords, that is not being affected, so I will try to reconfigure the build in some way to do something else with it if I have to. Like, see, I can usually just sit there and not worry about anything. And this I usually gotta try to avoid at least some of the lightning damage on the ground. At least I think I'm trying to avoid it. I don't know. And not very well. And I could get tankier, because I run the Aspect of Carnage, Forbidden Flames, Forbidden Flesh, and I can swap that out for the Indomitable Resolve ones, which would probably have kept me alive there. That is a lot of AoE on that thing. Alright, that one's dead. Nope. So now it's just, just sit there and I'll die eventually. And yep, that is the build. I hope you liked it, and I will miss it.